Hey everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be doing a tier ranking video, but it is going to be specifically for book to movie adaptations that I have seen. So my criteria for this was just that it's a book to movie adaptation that I've watched. I don't necessarily have to have read the book, but most of them I have. Wow, struggles. I would say like 90% of them I have read the book for, but I also kind of left out any things like fairy tale adaptations, like the Brothers Grimm stuff, that I felt like was kind of, there would be too many. So I just left it to the more basic ones, if you will, but I do have 50 here to talk about, and I feel like I definitely probably forgot some. Some were conscious decisions to leave out because the author sucks, but others I probably just forgot. I did go back and I realized that I forgot Dumplin' by Julie Murphy, which is a really bad one because I had started filming this video, realized I forgot that one, and it's so bad because I went to go and see, like, I went to the movie set for that one. So how ridiculous is it that I left that, like, how did I do that? I don't know. Anyways, I filmed a scene as an extra for that. It was cut. Understandable. It's fine. It was a very awkward experience actually, and it wasn't the fault of like the publisher or anything, but the guy that I was filming the scene with wouldn't stop talking to me, and you're not supposed to talk, but he kept on like asking me for my number and asking me to talk to me, and it was just really uncomfortable because I didn't know what to do because I'm too awkward. So I was like, no, I'm from Canada, I can't text you. And then he just kept talking. So then the guy came over and was like, you're supposed to mouth it, and then like showed me what mouthing was, and I was like, I know what mouthing is. But yeah, anyways, that was an experience, so I don't know how I forgot that, but that is not what we are here for today. I got the idea for this video from my friend Hannah over at A Clockwork Reader. She did this video, and I just thought that it seemed like a lot of fun. She did this like years ago now, and I've been wanting to do it ever since. I keep on putting it on my filming list and then pushing it back, but we're finally doing it today. So I have 5 categories, so it's kind of like 5 stars, but not really, because the first category is better than the book, which doesn't necessarily mean it's like my favorite adaptation of all time. I loved it. Sometimes if I've already seen the movie or TV show or whatever the adaptation is, then I won't want to read the book because then I can't picture things on my own because I've already read the book and, or sorry, I've already seen the movie. So then I'm just gonna be picturing whoever the actors or actresses were, and it kind of ruins it for me. And that's especially if I liked it. Like if I didn't like the adaptation, then I would be more inclined to read the book to see if the book is actually better. It really kind of just depends, but this list is honestly bugging me looking at it because I feel like I'm definitely missing some, but I really can't think of them. Anyways, so after better than the book, we have faves. The rest are pretty self-explanatory. Good, okay, and no thank you. It's, you know, you get it. So first up, we have Little Women, and this is the most recent adaptation with Emma Watson and Saoirse Ronan. I know she says how to say Sharish. I'm sorry, I can't remember how to say it. And the girl Florence I don't know how to pronounce anyone's names apparently. Ew, I'm so sorry. But this is the most recent one, and I did actually really like this one. I thought it was really well done. I would say, is it faves? I don't know. I guess it would be faves. Yeah, I guess I would say that that one's a fave because I think it was very well done. It was a really solid adaptation, and I think it modernized the material, but also stayed true to the source material, which was that was solid. Next is 5 Feet Apart, and this one I would say is one of the better than the book ones because I actually did enjoy this movie and I wasn't expecting to, and it's kind of interesting because this one isn't really a book to movie adaptation because it's actually, it was a script first and then they made a novelization of the script. So it did come out, I believe that the book came out before the movie did, but it wasn't like the book and then the movie. The movie already existed, or the script did at least, and then they made it a novel, if that makes any sense to you. But it's kind of interesting because I don't really know of any others that has been the case with them. So anyways, 5 Feet Apart was like, it was kind of corny, but I felt like it was different than what I was expecting, and I did actually enjoy it. So that's why I say that one's better than the book, because since then, even though I know that it's literally based on the script, I just haven't really wanted to read the book, so I've just left it with the movie. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. I don't know why I have the book cover and not the movie poster, but oh well. Fun fact, the main character of this, the girl who plays Liesel, she was born in my city. She was born in Windsor, which is fun because no one's ever really born in Windsor. But the Book Thief adaptation, I did think was good. I think I'm gonna put it in good because I don't think it was my absolute favorite. I don't think that you could possibly get to the impact level that the book had for me, but I don't think it was bad by any means. I think they did a really good job with it. I just think that personally, it's a story that I would rather experience like reading it or listening to the audiobook or whatever. I would just prefer the words of it because I think it's so expertly written that it's definitely a hard one to get that same level of impact in an actual visual format. So good doesn't mean that like I didn't like it at all. It's one that I would rewatch, but I'm also not that big of a movie fan. I feel like that's worth mentioning now. I don't love movies, so take my opinion with a grain of salt, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm falling with that one. I think it was a really solid adaptation, but it's just not my favorite. It's really bugging me that there's two of The Sun Is Also a Star, by the way, if you didn't notice that already. I accidentally saved it twice, so I'm sorry, but oh well, I'll just sort them both in the same category, obviously. So next is Divergent by Veronica Roth, which was adapted, obviously. This one came out, it's so funny because there seems to be always like one actor or actress who is in all of the YA adaptations at the same time. So when Divergent was happening, Shailene Woodley was also in The Fault in Our Stars. And then similarly, when The Darkest Minds was happening, it was Amandla Stenberg. They were in The Darkest Minds, and then also Everything Everything, which Everything Everything isn't on here because I haven't actually seen that one yet. By the way, Heartstopper just came out. I haven't watched it yet. That's why it's not on here, but I really do want to watch it. I've heard like nothing but amazing things about it. Anyways, Divergent, I did actually like it. I would say it's good. I don't think like it's not groundbreaking or amazing or anything, but I think that the first Divergent movie was good. I think it was enjoyable. It gave me what I wanted it to, and I had fun watching it. The next one will be a different story, but we'll get there eventually. At least I think I included it. Did I not save the cover for that one? I don't see it anywhere. I don't know why, but I did try and save Insurgent, the cover for that one, which is the second Divergent book and movie. And that one would go in okay or no thank you. For that one, I found that one came out the same year and like really close to when The Fault in Our Stars came out. And I found it really hard to separate the two of them because her hair was short. Oh, I found it. I don't know why it just stuck out to me. So yeah, so this one would go, I think an okay. Yeah, so I'll put it in okay for now. So yeah, her hair was short and they made this big deal of her cutting her hair, but it was very obviously because she had cut it for The Fault in Our Stars. So that annoyed me. But also it was like they found this like CGI effect where everything like goes like bleh, I don't know how to describe it, but they used the crap out of that one. So I felt like the CGI was just overused and I really didn't care for it. So that kind of ruined the second one for me, unfortunately. And I definitely liked the first one more. The other thing is actually, I forgot that there were other people who we won't name, but there's another actor who stars alongside her in both of them, in one the love interest and then in the other the brother. So it's just kind of weird. So speaking of that, I guess we'll just go to The Fault in Our Stars now, even though I'm kind of jumping around everywhere. So The Fault in Our Stars, apart from who is in it, I would say that this one was, I have to say, like, there's just such sentimental value to it for me. So I would say that it's one of my faves. I did really enjoyed that movie. I thought they did a great job with it. And I know it's corny and everything, but like, I don't care. I'm not going to pretend that I didn't enjoy it because I really did. It's Kind of a Funny Story is another situation where I say that it's better than the book. And that is because I watched the movie first and then I read the book. And this is why I don't like doing that, because I watched the movie, then read the book, and I was disappointed by the book because one of the characters who had one name was completely different, and I really had liked the movie, but then they ended up completely like changing the name of one of the characters from the book. So then when I read the book, it was just hard for me to get out of that and to realize it was the same, like the same character, but a different name. So that just kind of, I really didn't like that. Next is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares, which is by David Levithan, and this was adapted as a Netflix TV show, and this is definitely faves. I think they did such a fantastic job. It was so freaking cute. I loved it, and I plan on watching it every Christmas. I started watching it this Christmas, but didn't get through the whole thing because, I mean, it is a TV show, but oh my goodness, it was absolutely adorable. Like, I really loved it. Next is The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This one I would say is okay. I feel like I need to move this to no thank you then, because they're not on the same level, but yeah, we'll just have it there twice. Please ignore. But The Sun Is Also a Star was okay for me. I didn't really care for the acting in it. Like, I didn't feel the chemistry between the two characters very much, and it was disappointing for me because I love the book. That's one of my favorite books, and I just was kind of let down from that one. So I watched it on a plane at some point, actually. I don't remember where I was going or anything, but I definitely watched that one on a plane. Maybe I was coming back from or going to San Francisco. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was okay. Now, Dumplin', I think that the adaptation was actually really well done. I think it would be good again though, because I think I did enjoy the book more than I did the adaptation. However, I think they did a really great job with it. I thought it was really cute. They had a great cast for it. It was just hard to like not see Jennifer Aniston, you know? Like, it was hard for me to believe her as the mom. And that wasn't any of her fault. It was just because I was like, oh, that's Jennifer Aniston. So the Southern accent and everything and how she's supposed to be like a Southern genteel lady, I just had a hard time believing. The Hunger Games is one of my faves. I did really enjoy The Hunger Games. I thought it was a very solid adaptation. Like, I personally think that they had a great cast. The cast was perfect. I wouldn't cast anyone else different. I think it was just such a solid and like groundbreaking adaptation, really, because it made way for so many other stories that are like that. And there's definitely books or movies before that that kind of are similar, but I feel like this one was so groundbreaking for whatever reason. Paper Towns by John Green, I would say this one gets okay. I don't really remember it. I just remember that Cara Delevingne was cast as, I forget her name, Margot. Margot's her name, isn't it? And it was really hard to get past that once again because it just didn't really fit for me. So yeah, that's why I watched it once and I was like, okay, this might be controversial, but honestly, I didn't really like the movie Jim Carrey adaptation of A Series of Unfortunate Events. And I think it's because it was like too much what it was supposed to be. I never read those books when I was a kid, but I found it so bleak and depressing. And that's why I have a hard time saying, I know that's what it's supposed to be, but I didn't feel like it had whimsy to it. I don't know, but that one definitely I'm kind of like, if I say, I would say that it's better than the book. And this one, I have read the book and I read it before I watched the movie and I just had okay feelings about the book, but the actual movie I thought was really well done. I like Gail Forman's other book more. What's it called? It's the one where they travel, Just One Day. Is that what it's called? I can't even remember. It is Just One Day, isn't it? I don't even know. But If I Stay, I think that the movie was really well done. It was I'm kind of seeing like a theme with the ones that are better than the book. They're all kind of like depressing, sad stories, but I guess that's just kind of what I like in movies, is that they're depressing and sad. The Host by Stephanie Meyer. I did read this book. I don't really remember. I think that the movie was pretty well done. I'll say it's okay because I don't really remember it that much. I don't think it's really something that appeals to me as much as it might other people, and that's why I don't really have like strong feelings about it either way. I'm gonna try and pick this up because I always talk for so long in these ranking videos. Next is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and the other two 2 movies for this are not on here because I haven't watched them yet. No, I really suck at that. I don't think I watched P.S. I Still Love You. Maybe I did, but I definitely didn't watch that one because I don't remember John Ambrose. But yeah, I think that's the character's name. Anyways, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, I think is Faves. I think they cast this one so well. It was adorable, exactly what I wanted it to be. Honestly, Netflix does a fantastic job with their adaptations all the time. The Maze Runner is definitely one that I would say, I think no thank you, to be honest. I would put it in better than the book because I didn't really like the book, but at the same time, I didn't really like the movie that much either. I guess it just kind of like wasn't for me, obviously. So yeah. I thought I had 13 Reasons Why on here, but now I'm not seeing it. I feel like I'm just missing it again. Next is Catching Fire, and this one's definitely Faves again. I feel like Catching Fire I may have even liked more than The Hunger Games, and definitely in the books, I would say that Catching Fire is my favorite out of the books. I think it expanded everything so much and was really such an interesting sequel. Next, we have Alice Through the Looking Glass, and this is the, what is his name? Tim Burton adaptation. This one I'm gonna put in no thank you because it literally just takes the name and that's kind of it. So it doesn't stay true to the source material at all. It just kind of does whatever. And that is because in the first one, so I'll just go ahead and put that in, I would say good because I do enjoy that one. It has like, I just don't really like, there's a lot of adaptations that make Wonderland really dark, which I understand it totally can be. It lends itself to that, but I like more of like the whimsy and the lightness of it. So I think that's why I wouldn't say that I like love Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton adaptation. And I think that it melds the two together a lot as well. So that's why when it came to them actually doing Through the Looking Glass, there was like nothing left from Through the Looking Glass, for them to do. Kind of good, but bordering on faves, but I don't think it's my fave. Fave would be Alice in Wonderland, the like original Disney adaptation. I adore that one. I could watch it over and over and over again, and I really love it. So it definitely also is Through the Looking Glass and Alice in one, but I just love it. Next, we have the Mortal Instruments City of Bones adaptation with Lily Collins, and this one I would say was okay. I think that I liked the casting, but like I didn't really like the casting of Jace that much, to be honest, which might be a little bit controversial. It just wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't how I pictured him as, but I think they did an okay job with the adaptation. It's definitely one that has mixed feelings on it, I feel like. I think it's just a story that doesn't really lend itself all that well to adaptations, is kind of what we've discovered over the years. The Hobbit, by the way, Lord of the Rings isn't on here because I have not watched Lord of the Rings. I have never watched it, never read it either, and don't really want to. I would maybe watch the movies, but I definitely haven't read the books. Hobbit was no thank you. Well, I think it was no thank you. I'm just not a fan. I don't know why. For some reason, Lord of the Rings doesn't really appeal to me. I'm sorry. Mockingjade's okay. It's like, I don't know. I didn't care for the last book for sure, but the movie was okay. And I'm just gonna judge like part 1 and part 2 as one. Breaking Dawn, Twilight, we're getting to Twilight here. Breaking Dawn I think was actually well done. I'm gonna put it in good, but I think Breaking Dawn was actually well done because there's that one scene that like twisted everything. It was just such an unexpected thing, so I think they did do a solid job with that one. By the way, I'm realizing that I forgot to include 13 Reasons Why on here, but 13 Reasons Why would personally be a no thank you. Didn't really care for it. I didn't care for the book either. I did not like the book at all. I think maybe like the TV show was like a little bit better, but it wasn't my favorite by any means. Now we have Little Women, the Masterpiece Theater edition. Not Masterpiece Theater, is that what it's called? It's the PBS edition, and I do think that this one was good. But I do have really bad memories of it because I remember my mom and I were watching this when we found out that the kitten that we had adopted and had gotten really sick and then she died the next day. So I have really bad memories of Little Women in regards to that, and it was specifically this adaptation that we were watching. So for that reason, I don't think it can be a fave for me, although I do think it's really well done. I just have traumatic memories with it. New Moon is definitely no thank you. Like the book, Everything about the New Moon story, absolutely hate it, and the adaptation was no exception. So annoying, honestly. I can't. And Twilight, I would say, is okay. I think, like, for the nostalgia of it, but it's really corny, and like, it just, I don't know. It is what it is. So I don't think it's the worst thing ever, but I don't think it's really the best thing ever either. The Great Gatsby, I would say, I think they did a pretty good job with that one, actually. I think it was interesting. I remember that my prom came out the year, no, my prom didn't come out. This movie came out the year of my prom, so it was like Gatsby themed and everything. But yeah, I think the movie was good. I prefer the book though. Percy Jackson, the Lightning Thief, it is what it is. There's not much else to say. They did just release, I'll put it in okay. Anyways, so they did just release the cast for the new adaptation that they're doing on Disney Plus. I believe they're doing a TV show, and that looks really, really awesome. Beautiful Creatures is absolutely a no thank you. I remember I read this book because my sister had read it, and then she wanted to go and see the movie together, so we went and did that, but oh my god, did I hate it. I hated the book, and then I also ended up hating the movie, so just, I hated all of it. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Briggs. I have a soft spot for this adaptation because it was one of the first sponsorships. Actually, I think it was the first sponsorship that I ever got, and I thought it was so cool. But I think that the adaptation was good. It lends itself to a younger age range, and it's not my favorite, but I do have that kind of like nostalgic connection to it. But I think it makes everything a little bit younger, and there were certain changes that I was kind of like meh about. So overall, it's not my favorite, but I don't think it's the worst either. The Darkest Minds is, I'm gonna say no thank you, and I wish that I didn't say no thank you, but because honestly, Alexandra Bracken is such a sweet person, but I just did not care for this movie at all, and I really wish that I did like it, but I didn't. Series of Unfortunate Events with Neil Patrick Harris, I think that this one was really well done, so I'm gonna put this one in good. I think it was solid, and I liked that it kind of added more of that whimsy even though it was dark, and I think that the story lent itself really well to TV rather than a movie. Bridgerton, which is what I'm watching right now, I would say better than the book, and this is solely based on the fact that my sister read the book and she didn't like the book, so I haven't like read the book series, and I don't know if I will. Maybe I will. I'm not gonna say no, but I don't like, probably not. I don't know. We shall see, but I am really enjoying the TV show. I did find season 1 kind of annoying, and I know I'm so late to this, but I found it kind of annoying because it's so like slow burn, and I don't like slow burn, but then this one is even more slow burn. Like in the first season, at least things happen, you know, there's one episode where like so many things happen, but it was just they were so mad at each other all the time, and I'm not a big fan of enemies to lovers, and it wasn't really, it was kind of hate to love, but this next season is also hate to love, and I think it's a little bit more fun between the two of them, I guess. I don't really know. Love, Simon is definitely faves. I think they did such a fantastic job with the Love, Simon adaptation. It was so sweet, and I watched it in theaters like 3 times. And it was incredible. Shadow and Bone, I'm also going to put in faves. I think they did a really good job, even though they kind of changed, well, not kind of, they definitely very much changed the story for the Crows. I think that they did a good job of adapting everything for the new format. I think it stayed true to the story and to who the characters were, but also twisted it in a way that's going to be more successful for that new format. Ready Player One, I think that they did, I'm gonna put in good. I think that they did a really good job with this adaptation, and it was kind of like everything I wanted it to be. I think it worked really well, and it was a big task because it's a whole new world and like different things going on, but I think they did a solid job with it. Let It Snow, I'm gonna put in no thank you. I couldn't even watch the whole movie for this. I don't know if like now, if I read the book, I wouldn't be able to finish the book, but I liked the book when I read it. It's just, I think maybe it was a little bit immature and kind of, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. The Hate U Give, I'm going to put in faves because this is another movie that I think they did an absolutely incredible job with. So impactful. It came out around the same time as Love, Simon, and I saw both of them in theaters and like 4 times or something like that. It was just so incredibly good. Looking for Alaska was adapted into a TV show, and I'm gonna give this one okay. I watched it pretty quickly because I watched it for Bookmas, for like the episode of Bookmas that I do where it's just about adaptations for the past year, but I never really wanted to pick it back up again, so I never started watching it again. So I think that it's just okay for me. Tiny Pretty Things, I think, is going to get an okay as well. They really tried to make it more of like a Pretty Little Liars sort of drama thing, and I just wasn't really into that all that much. So it's another one where like I'm not a big TV person or a big movie person, which is why I'm so late to things like Bridgerton and stuff like that, because I'll watch the same shows, my comfort shows, over and over again, and I don't generally like very often go for other things. So that's kind of why I just, if I watch something and I don't want to pick it up again, I just won't. And that's what happened with Tiny Pretty Things, unfortunately, because I did really like the book. Every Day by David Levithan. I never read the book, but the movie made me not want to read the book, to be entirely honest. So I'm gonna give that one a no thank you. There's just something about it, I don't know. It didn't really work for me. I know some of you guys have said that the book is way better, but I unhauled it a long time ago and I don't think I'll get it again. Perks of Being a Wallflower is another fave of mine. I think they did a fantastic job with this adaptation. It was so good, and yeah, I did really love this one. And Eclipse is the final book from Twilight. Eclipse I think is okay. Like, I don't really remember all that much about Eclipse, to be honest. I don't think it really stood out to me. Yeah, so those are all of the adaptations that I wanted to rank today. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sorry if I missed any of them or anything, but I think I got to most of them. I'm sure that there are some that I'm missing, but I really can't think of all that many right now. And I don't watch, oh, you know what I forgot? I haven't read the book, but I forgot the Miseducation of Cameron Tucker, I think is what it is. But I haven't read the book for that one, but that one would go in better than the book as well. I thought that the movie adaptation was really well done, and I enjoyed that one a lot. That's actually another actor who was in like a bunch of adaptations at the same time. Chloe Grace Moretz was in a bunch of adaptations at the same time. She was in If I Stay, and then she ended up being in Cameron Tucker. No, it's Cameron Post. Why am I saying Cameron Tucker? The Miseducation of Cameron Post is what it is. But there was some other adaptation that she was in. But yeah, so those are all the ones that I want to talk about today, all the ones that I wanted to rank today. Let me know if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, let me know. And I will see you guys in another new video soon. Bye!